I'm Elaine Schleifer, and this poem is about how much I love the femme friendships and queer community that I'm a part of. It's called Garden Party. Women have been flowers for millennia. Oh, my darling lily of the valley, my beautiful narcissa, my wild, wild rose, let me tell you what you look like and therefore who you are. But here in this room, with all of these femme faces lifted up to mine, I find myself for once not at odds with a traditional narrative of beauty. We are a garden, here and now, and in our hands rest petal and stamen both. When we dance, we are both the breeze and the bees. Tell me your story, femme, and I'll let you pick which blossom you are. In this group, we are all flowers, nourishing our stalks and spines so that we can wear our differences and identities and colors and scents and scars on our bodies boldly out into the world. Here in this group, our stories are told, manifested, fertilized, known, and it is into this dirt that we sink delicate roots. Most of us do not think the roots will hold. But we grow anyway, raucous against each other with varied moments of blossom, bloom, and decay. Queer femmes have always built the garden in which to keep ourselves, first because we are the only ones we trust to do the pruning, and second because every other bed has proven dangerous. In this group there are many differences, but on one subject, we approach totality. And so the roots do hold. The more of us that grow together, the more stable the soil in which new plants can bloom. The roots are delicate, pale, and frail as newborn fingers curling around another's hand. We are always rebirthing each other, and the roots do hold.
Um, so my queer experience started off really weird in Central Florida. So that's not the greatest place to be if you're a young gay growing up. A lot of rural redneck behavior. So it can kind of get where you don't really fit in a lot. Like everyone there is like really bro-y and shooting guns and like chewing tobacco, and it is just none of it really fit in for me. And I always knew at a young age that something was different, and I didn't fit in with those people. So I realized that coming from a rural place like that, it kind of does something to your inner gay brain of like, do I fit in? Will I ever fit in? You know, will people accept me where I come from? And so that was really hard experience of like coming out and doing that. My parents are really, really cool people, but for some reason I was terrified to come out because you never really know like what they're gonna do, no matter how much they love you, you know, because anybody can do anything at this point. It's terrible. But luckily my parents were super duper cool about it, and my mom cried because she was more upset that I lied to her than actually, you know, being gay. So that was definitely a shock for me. I expected worse for some reason because my parents were always very cool people. My dad had gay friends, my mom had gay friends. They went to gay bars together and hung out. So for some reason, looking back, I'm like, you're an idiot. You should have just come out already, and you know. But luckily, I'm lucky enough to say that it went a better route than most people. So moving from there to Cleveland was a huge jump because I had just started experiencing like what it's like to be gay in a place like that. And then I came to Cleveland and got to actually experience being gay in a city where I wouldn't say you're fully accepted, because I mean obviously there's people everywhere that are assholes, but you're way more accepted than where you are down in the South. Which it sucks when you think about it, because like you have to come to a big city to obtain your rights, and that's not something anyone should ever have to go through. But here we are, you know. But that's transferred me to coming up to Cleveland and meeting so many cool people and experiencing a lot of way different things than you would find in Florida. And I actually got to meet one of the winners of RuPaul's Drag Race, Jinx Monsoon, who is a good friend of mine now. We met on Grindr, which is where most gays meet nowadays. Started off as a funny story, which there was someone who was pretending to be Jinx on Grindr, and I've been speaking to this person, and I had saw the person who was the real Jinx, who I thought was an impersonator. She thought it was funny. She's like, no, I'm the real Jinx. The person you've been talking to is not me. It's a fake person pretending, but thank you for defending me and like, you know, saying all those really nice things. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I think that's terrible that someone would do that. And so because of that funny story, we became good friends because of it. And so now I'm going to be her assistant, because her current assistant is working his way out to do a bunch of different things with World of Wonder. And so she was like, hey, I don't know anyone that would do it, and you are really nice, and you seem like you'd be really good at this job. Do you want to do it? And I was like, of course, yeah, like that sounds amazing. Duh, why would I not do something like that? So I get to travel around with a bunch of drag queens, and you know, it's honestly one of the best experiences I think I've ever had. I got to go to Peru. I'm going to the UK pretty soon here, and it's something that I've watching these people on TV and then going, oh, I get to work with them. You never see it coming. Like, I never would have thought that I would be in this place, but again, being queer, there's that little niche market that we have, you know. You get to go to a bunch of really cool places and meet people, and it's going to change my life from redneck nowhere to, you know, traveling the world.
I'm Ashton. He, him pronouns, trans male, if that didn't go that way enough. Well, when I was a kid, I always knew something was different about me. I was a really weird kid. I used to put my hair in a big bowl and cut my hair off. I had an obsession with the blues and the greens. I didn't want to wear the frilly dress my sister was wearing or something like that. And then by kindergarten, I'm like, whoa, girls are cute. And I guess I started off as your typical little boy rather than anything in the first place. And my family was like, no. Repeatedly. I grew up in a Pentecostal and Catholic household, so you can probably guess how that went. And it just got worse day by day. And I guess a lot of people would take that as a bad thing. Me, I take it as more of a, hey, I made it out situation. And, you know, it didn't really stick to me that, hey, maybe I am a guy until much later. But at a young age at the same time, around 11, I'm like, hey, I think I'm a boy. And around then I started calling myself he. I worked on a name for months. It took a very, very long time. And here I am today. I'm out of my parents' house. I've been going by Ashton for the past almost 7 years now. I've been attending my local LGBT center for about 5 years now. And I have a great boyfriend. We're getting married. I am no longer into girls because those are just not a thing for me. And even though today my family still call and text me and try to find me on social media and will sit here and harass me and do whatever, I'm just like, whatever. Like, my real family is probably here at the LGBT center, if anything, because that no blood ties really matter anymore. These people here that I never met before cared about me more than my actual family did because of the pronoun I use. Nothing better than that.